Hi, we are now at segment 2 of the pre-class information and lessons. We're going to talk about in business versus being a business person. So welcome back to the prep for the Business Planning Binge Weekend with the Stewardship Small Business Academy. So what is required to be in business? Frankly, it's not much. In Pennsylvania, our state provides some really good information in a booklet, a couple booklets actually, that help would-be entrepreneurs in how to form the business from a legal standpoint with the state. What do they require? And plain and simple, it says in that booklet that all somebody has to do in the state of Pennsylvania, which is where I live, is declare that they are going to do an activity that has a profit motive. Boom, that's it, you're in business. Okay? So if you do that, you've got a sole proprietorship. It's that simple. Now, what if you want an LLC? So you need to register an LLC. The state does require, at least in our state, that you file paperwork. But if you register what's called a membership agreement and the fictitious name registration, you've got an LLC. Okay, what about if you want a corporation? You have to file what are known as articles of incorporation and other accompanying paperwork such as bylaws and things like that. But you file the paperwork and you have a corporation. So the short answer for what's required to be in business is maybe file a few pieces of paper or not. Might not even have to do that. Okay? It is subject to the state laws because when you form a business, it is formed in a respective state. And you do not have to form the business in the state that you have your legal residence in. More than likely, that's what's going to happen, but you don't have to do that. So the business formation process is subject to the state laws of the state that it will be formed in. Now, let's change gears here a little bit and talk about what's required to be a business person. Okay? Understanding how any business activity affects revenue, expenses, or both. That's what's required to be a business person. And it's unsettling to me how few people in business know how to do this, to understand how the activities, the day-to-day activities that they, and if they have employees, that their employees are participating in, affect revenue and expenses. Now, you do not need to be a numbers person. I don't want you to worry at all if you say, I'm not a numbers person. Okay? I had businesses, let's see, I've had businesses, I think it's 35, probably about for over 35 years now. Okay? And for the longest time, I was not a numbers person at all. Now, fine, okay, I'm an accountant now. I learned how to become a numbers person, and I'm grateful for it, but I ran a profitable business without being a numbers person. People used to make fun of me with how little I knew about numbers, but I understood a couple basic concepts with business. I had a landscape contracting company and a nursery, and for landscape contracting, frankly, figuring out the prices of how to do jobs is pretty simple in the world of how complicated business can be, and I was good at it. So you don't have to be a numbers person. You certainly don't have to be an accountant, although I can't stress enough, the more you understand about bookkeeping and accounting, the easier it is to understand how the activity affects revenue and expenses. But don't worry about it if you're not. We're here to help you. We'll guide you through the process. So the reality of business is that the likelihood of success increases dramatically by writing a business plan and becoming a business person, not simply a person who has a business. So keep this in mind. There are only two solutions to any financial problem. That's it. Only two. We're about to share them. Every other solution is a subset of one of these two. You can make more money or you can spend less. That's it. So in the world of business, making more money is referred to as revenue, and then spending less is the expenses side. Pardon me. So the most important thing you will learn in this whole course is how to affect these two sets of numbers. That's why I'm harping on it right now. I want you to understand the importance of doing this. So we will focus our efforts around developing a plan with a successful business model that helps you gain an awareness of the revenue and expenses and all of the factors that affect them. Okay? So we're not going to leave this to chance. We're going to teach you all the components of it so that by the time, well, you might already have a business, but if you're going to launch a business, you will have a list of everything that you intend on spending money on. Or if you're already in business, you have the benefit of being able to look at the things you've been spending money on, and then based upon your plan for the following year and things like that, you'll be able to see, are there any additional things that you intend on spending money on? But if you're in business already, you have the advantage of having real data of what you're already doing. So that's it for right now for the in business versus being a business person, and then we'll do the next introduction lesson next. It's in the learning management system for you to access.